What's up, everybody? Chris and Tommy here for YouTube Celebrity Gossip News. How's it going, Tommy?
It's going great, Chris.
Great. Glad to hear it, as always. Tommy, I'm going to ask, what's going on this week?
Well, YouTube recently announced that they're going to be ending, as of May 2nd, their annotations, where you could put a little box with text in it throughout various parts of the videos. That will end as of May 2nd. Any people who still have annotations out there, those will still be usable, but you cannot add any new ones. Instead, they're going to go with the cards with the little eye thing that drops down, and the end screen with the clickable links will be taken over full time.
Nice. Well, I mean, I'm going to miss the annotations, and the annotations helped people get to channels out there and video links. It's like having a great link with your video or show that you're doing and stuff. I mean, a lot of people use them, and a lot of people like annotations too.
What YouTube and Google have discovered is that more people are using their mobile devices to watch YouTube videos, and so annotations would not work on mobile devices. So with the end cards, end screen, and the cards, those can work on mobile devices.
So moving on, what else do you have, Tommy?
Well, one of the YouTube Red shows in particular is has been put on by Red called Buddy System. Well, that is currently beating out shows on Netflix and Amazon. Shows on Netflix such as Orange is the New Black, and shows like that, original shows. It's up in the rankings as #1 on the digital side of digital shows. Until YouTube Red came around, mainly Netflix. Some Amazon shows have been dominating, but mainly it was Netflix had the dominating original shows up until now.
Those of you that don't know or have never tried YouTube Red, it's an ad-free, and you see a lot of things on it as well. It's a great feature for YouTube as well, just because, I mean, what if you have your Droid or your Apple phone on you? Basically, if you close out like a music video that you're listening to, you can still listen to it. And plus, you could also skip the ads. I know there's ad blocker, but still, you could skip the ads, and, you know, it comes with a lot more features. You get to see a lot of YouTube Red series that you can't see right now. If you're a fan of PewDiePie or so-and-so and so. So tell me, TMZ catched up with Hilary Duff to ask about what she thought about Becky G being gay from the Power Rangers movie, the Yellow Ranger. And with this and Saban, Becky G being gay, well, I mean, I hope they're not going to do anything or put her through anything that the original Blue Ranger went through, which is David Yost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What, in my opinion, is what does this have to me, I don't see how this has anything to do with someone's acting abilities, or how, if it's going to affect the movie or not affect the movie.
Right, exactly. I mean, you know, back in the original Power Rangers, they, you know, Saban made it really personal with David Yost and putting him through hell. We all know that. So, I mean, with this, you're right. It shouldn't have anything to do with the movie. You know, why judge and stuff? And, you know, it's not going to stop the movie from happening and being really good, right?
Of course. So basically there's this feature that's been out for a while called restricted feature. And no one really noticed it was a problem until people in the LGBTQ plus community were noticing that some of their videos that weren't controversial, there's nothing, it wasn't like a adult content or anything like that, because that's what this restriction was for. And like Phil discovered that all of his videos, when you went to restricted mode, none of his videos would show up. So YouTube's first response was, deal with it, it's that's the way that it is. But now they've come back and said, we're sorry for any confusion that anyone's had. We're working on fixing this. Now, saying they're gonna fix it's one thing, actually fixing it, we'll just have to wait and see. Which leads me to my next thing is, in the UK, this is along with the same issue where, back when people were finding that their videos were not getting monetized, were getting misinterpreted as, not family friendly. Well, in the UK, a bunch of advertisers pulled their advertisers off videos because their ads were being shown along videos with people like from the KKK and those type of groups. So now YouTube is working with the advertisers to fix that problem, to make sure the ads show up where they want them to show up and not where they don't want them to show up. So this is a good step, but only time will tell if it actually resolves some of the problem.
Well, we'll see what happens with UK advertisers, and I feel sorry for the guy that YouTube came back and said, "Oh, just deal with it." No, that's not cool. But they came back then and said, "Oh, we're sorry for the inconvenience and the problem." Well, I mean, YouTube is highly responsible for that, and so basically, somebody lost their job probably doing that to somebody like him. So
now, a lot of people, as you might know, you may have heard as of by now that SourceFed Nerd, and People Be Like, all those channels are getting canceled. Now, there's been some confusion out there to where Phil's the one responsible for it. He's the one canceling it. But to clear things up for anyone who is confused out there or doesn't quite understand, it wasn't Phil's idea, because he actually had sold the show after the SourceFed and all that. After he, this is back when a bunch of channels were formed because YouTube was funding these channels with like $1 million. So when the funding ran out, Phil did fund it himself a little bit out of pocket, but that was becoming too expensive. So he sold it to Discovery Digital, which is a subset of Discovery. So it's their property, and then they acquired a bunch of other media groups, and they formed a thing called Group 9, I think it's called, and they're the ones that decided to axe these things, not Phil. So if anyone sees that in 8 articles, that part is not true. Everything else is true. So yeah, just to be very clear, Phil did not have anything to do with them getting canceled. So please leave a comment down below on what your thoughts on any of the stories we covered.
Everybody, me and Tommy are going to SuperCon in Florida, Fort Lauderdale in July. We will be there. We're not going to VidCon this year. We're taking a break from VidCon, doing something different. And this has been in Next Level Productions.
The channel takes you to the next level.
All right. See you around, everyone. Later.
Bye.